get it done. One of just 2 returners on this Hurricanes team. Appreciate you all being here. Our officiating crew, John Capolino, Safe Esho, and Linda Miles, going to be making the calls today. Already it's a steal for the Hurricanes. And that's exactly what they do with this high pressure defense. Shot offline though. It's going to be a foul called right away. The Hurricanes looking to turn defense into offense, Isis.
Well, this is where they thrive, is when they can get those live ball steals in the middle of the floor and then transition. But the offensive rebounding, love the aggressiveness here by Spearman, the putback with the contact.
Rosaria Spearman, the sophomore forward out of Georgia, leads the team in rebounding, nearly 6 per game. Turnage tries it from beyond the arc, too strong. Right away, the rebound reeled in by Day Wilson. Shayeann Day Wilson, the junior Duke transfer, not a stranger to the ACC, but still new to this University of Miami program. Head coach Katie Meyer brought in 4 transfers this season. She mentioned it's been a little bit of an adjustment. They may not be new to college basketball, but they're new to her and new to playing with each other. As that one just rattles out from Roberts. Pushing right away here is Gordon. Turning on the Jets, lays it up and in.
Maria Gordon. They call her OMG, and that's almost what she is every play. An OMG play, but she's so good in transition. The tiniest player on the court, has no problem though getting in the thick of it. Watch her go coast to coast here. Weaves her way in and out. Beautiful left-hand finish.
You mentioned her size, just 5'4", the junior guard out of Bradenton, Florida, Maria Gordon. Player who's been having a great season, averaging more than 13.5 points per game, shooting more than 39% from beyond the arc. But there's another 3-point shooter getting in on the action. Sarah Bajetti knocks one down.
They were working on that action yesterday in practice. The drive, stretching the floor, and getting up shots from the corners. This offense loves to make corner threes.
Spearman, no. There's Gordon, once again pushing. Latson. Turned over. Chance in transition here for the Hurricanes. Out ahead to Patrick. Couldn't quite reel it in. Jump ball the call. The Hurricanes led by Katie Meyer in her 19th season, coming off of her 150th ACC win as the team took down Wake Forest in their last matchup. Did an excellent job, this program, coming off their first ever Elite 8 run last year, but mentioned it. They returned just 2 players, or 2 starters rather, who were a part of that run. They lost their 2 leading scorers, so this is a new group for the Hurricanes. It's been a bit of a process for Meyer to incorporate those 4 transfers, but still a ton of talent for this Hurricanes team, and defense has been working as that shot rattles out.
Defense and then staying on the offensive boards. A little too unselfish there from Williams. I thought she should have went up with it herself.
The Jetty tries to get all the way through. Ball turned over once again. This Florida State team typically is very good at taking care of the basketball. Fewest turnovers per game in the ACC at right around 11.
Already with 3, though. I think they haven't done a great job of attacking with space, and that's the key to playing fast. Is you can't play fast if the floor is not spaced. They've been a little bit of a gas. Good defense there by Turners, though, on the steal.
Brianna Snoop Turnage, the Atlanta, Georgia native, 6'1" sophomore guard, earning her 8th start today. Gets it done defensively, a player who head coach Brooke Wyckoff loves the way she gets after it on the boards. Here she finds Timpson, foul called. The Florida State Seminoles led by head coach Brooke Wyckoff in her 2nd official season leading the charge as head coach. 3rd serving in this capacity. She was the interim head coach back in the 2020-2021 season. Well, legendary former head coach Sue Semrau took a leave of absence, later retired after an incredible run, but Wyckoff has really come in and put her stamp on this Florida State program. They had a fast-paced offense a season ago, and they've been able to repeat that success so far this year, averaging more than 81 points per game as Timpson knocks down the free throw. But you love talking to Coach Wyckoff. You can see she has a certain perspective about the game, how much she cares about her players. And this team dealt with a little bit of a tough stretch during the month of January. They got a much-needed win over Georgia Tech, and she feels like they were able to learn from those experiences. Yeah,
dropped 3 games in a row in ACC play, and I mean, they were a tough 3 games. Dropped games to Duke, Virginia, and Virginia Tech as well.
Coach Wyckoff mentioned that getting back to the basics was the key against Georgia Tech, as getting inside is Lattimore, no. Coach Wyckoff mentioned the spacing of the floor, the movement of the basketball. She felt like was much improved in that Georgia Tech win that was played last Sunday, but it's going to be a turnover here. And Tania Latson didn't love the call.
4 turnovers already for the Seminoles. That has to be an area that they look to improve immediately.
This Miami team also has turned it over 3 times. Now they're a little bit more vulnerable to the turnover, averaging right around 17 per game, among the most, at least the 5 most in the ACC. 3 ball from Patrick, too strong. However, she comes up with the rebound. A little bit of a bobbled ball there by Turnage. This time it's Day Wilson who knocks down the triple.
Man, she is a threat from anywhere on the court. Off of that kind of broken play, defense wasn't close enough. She'll pull up and knock that down right in your face.
Day Wilson shooting nearly 40.5% from beyond the arc. Truly a 3-level scorer, averaging more than 11 points per game as that one rattles out. Turnage, though, the O-board, second chance, no. Junior guard Jasmyne Roberts bringing the ball up with some speed, finds Lattimore, gets it inside off the glass.
Lattimore, just a great post sub off the bench, brings experience, brings that energy, that length, the junior.
The junior coming off of an ACL injury, cut her season short back in her sophomore campaign as a nice little baseline jumper falls for Timpson. Lattimore, a player back healthy, had a nice performance in Miami's last game. Their win over Wake Forest at 9 points, 2 boards after not playing against Duke, which is something interesting head coach Katie Meyer's been trying to manage, is the amount of talent she has on this Miami team. And speaking of talent, Roberts knocks down the mid-range.
Really nice action there. Roberts flashing to the high post off the opposite, and she's got a nice 15-foot range jumper.
Plenty of talent, this Miami team. Their bench paces the ACC in scoring with right around 27 per game. Coach Meyer mentioned it's a little bit challenging to figure out what the best rotation is going to be. She gives her players opportunities in the first quarter. If you show up and play well, you're going to get more minutes, because there's a shot inside from Timpson.
Timpson being active inside, does a great job of relocating off the ball. When her guards drive, she relocates, she moves to find an angle. Talk about finding an angle, though. Roberts, that's a nice finish.
That was a tough angle, too. Roberts now with 6. And there's a shot from just about the free throw line from Gordon.
Uh-oh, it's heating up, Kyle, and we've got back-to-back buckets now, and this is kind of the style that I really expected. Both teams going back and forth. They like to score early in the shot clock.
Florida State now holding the 2-point lead with under 5 to play here in quarter number 1. Oh, the change of pace, but no! Omaria Gordon sends that one to the street.
OMG with a huge block, but it's been Day Wilson for Miami. You're not close enough, that's going up. Great 3-point shooter. And on the other side, it's Timpson inside for the Seminoles. We've got a rivalry game here in the ACC. Don't go anywhere.
She's a thief and a con artist.
You're making me blush. I'm a cop.
Yeah, I'm a cop. You have a badge?
Not yet.
Not ever.
I am now a guardian of the law.
How did you give me that?
Wild Cards. This Monday at 9/8 Central on the CW.
What you need is the information that is important to you and your family.
WCCB News at 10. Just what you need.
Ashley's President's Day sale is going on now. Save up to 45% off hot buys for every room. Your choice just $6.99. Plus save up to 20% off store-wide. And get up to 5 years interest-free with no minimum purchase. In-store only. Only at Ashley.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models, or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. We are professional grade GMC.
We didn't always get around this way, but when our car insurance got too pricey, we went from 4 wheels to 3, which isn't always easy.
Great job. Everyone's doing a great job.
Especially on road trips.
Turn left in 11 miles.
But now that we found affordable insurance, we're back to the good old days.
With a super low down payment to get started, Direct Auto lets you stop compromising and keep driving.
Ashley's President's Day sale is going on now. Save up to 45% off hot buys for every room. Your choice just $6.99. Plus save up to 20% off store-wide. And get up to 5 years interest-free with no minimum purchase. In-store only. Only at Ashley.
You're watching ACC basketball on the CW, brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. And here in Tallahassee, it's a little bit of a chilly day, rainy outside, but things are just heating up here inside of the Tucker Center. 2-point ball game in quarter number 1 in this rivalry matchup between Florida State and Miami. CW Courtside Saturday returns this week in prime time with an exciting doubleheader. First, Virginia Tech heads to South Bend to take on Notre Dame. Then in the nightcap, Virginia faces high-flying Florida State. CW Courtside Saturday this week at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, only on the CW. All right, Isis, it's been a fast start for both these teams so far in quarter number 1. What stood out to you with the way Miami has been playing and pushing the pace?
Well, they have 4 offensive rebounds already, which has led to 5 second chance points. And yeah, you're thinking, okay, first quarter, 5 second chance points, not a huge deal, but they're staying on the board. They're establishing themselves in the paint right now. And then they've gotten 4 more shots already than FSU because FSU has turned the ball over. So for the Seminoles, they have to take care of the basketball and get a shot up every time down the floor.
Taking care of the ball, something that Coach Wyckoff has identified super important for her team, going to be key in this game, and especially as they get back to playing their game after that series of losses. Start to calm down, get a little more composed. 3 on the shot clock. That one's offline, rebound brought in by White. Pushing here once again is Gordon, this Florida State team. Averages, and there's a 3 ball, no, from Bigetti.
Might have been a little too quick there from Bigetti. She is a 3-point shooter, but I think they've got to move the ball around and get at a good angle. That's a nice, pretty move by Lattimore inside. Beautiful footwork from the junior.
Lattimore averaging just over 3.5 points, 2 boards per game. But mentioned she's coming off a nice outing against Wake Forest. Coach Meyer really happy with her effort. Said she had a great week of practice. And here's a turnover. This Miami defense really putting Florida State out of whack. They're going to slow it down, though. In the paint, Dwyer gets it to go.
Yeah, one thing about Miami is they have a bench. They have depth. You got Dwyer that subbed in, Lattimore that subbed in. They bring instant offense for Coach Meyer.
Mentioned it, Coach Meyer said one of the challenges has been managing the rotation, managing minutes for this team. She gives players an opportunity in the first quarter, and there's a 3-point opportunity falling for Tucker.
Talk about Coach Meyer. It's a good problem to have when you've got a ton of players with a ton of talent. You have to figure out who to play. You'd rather have an abundance than a shortage.
Absolutely. They've got a rotation of posts. They've got a couple different players as well who can play point guard, which is something you talked with her about, is figuring out how they want to run the offense depending on who's running the point, because right now it's Lachey Dwyer into the game, coming in off the bench. Gives Day Wilson an opportunity off ball as a shot clock violation. We'll turn the ball back over to Florida State.
A bit of a stagnant offense there. And then here's Tucker on the other side. Good fill action, knocking down that top of the 3 key. That 3 from the top of the key.
Early in this game, 5 turnovers for Florida State. Mentioned they lead the ACC in fewest turnovers, averaging right around 11 per game. So this is a lot here before the end of the first quarter for them. 3 ball rattles home.
Well, that is a miscommunication defensively, because when Vegas steps in the game for FSU, that is her job, to knock down the 3-point shot.
Freshman guard Carla Villegas checking in, Spanish national. Played 19 minutes against Georgia Tech, 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, but you pointed out has been able to knock down the 3 ball, shooting right over 33% on the season. Here comes Gordon. No. Rebound brought in by Patrick.
And Gordon just gets through the lane, through those tight spaces so easily.
Deep 3, no. Lemyah Hylton gave it a heave. Pushing here is Bijetti. Foul called on the floor. Coach Meyer not happy, definitely fired up about what she felt like was a fair defensive play as Lemyah Hylton gets called for the foul.
Yeah, Coach Meyer just hinting at, she thought Bijetti put her shoulder and her head down and went into the defender. And I see a little bit of a push off there as well. I think Bijetti got away with one.
Hylton.
Yeah.
Hylton called for her first. That'll be the team's second here, late in quarter number 1. Bijetti coming around the left side, scoop and score wasn't there. Pushing here are the Hurricanes. Big pass to Day Wilson, travel call.
Really good job by Villegas there to close out on Day Wilson. Made her hesitate just a second and then able to force the turnover.
Now for Florida State, they are giving up an average of 72 points per game to opponents. What is the bread and butter that this defense needs to execute?
I think just locking in on the scout, knowing who they have. But man, Latson again, one of the best in the country at getting downhill. Does such a good job of getting through traffic and then finishing at rim.
Incredible speed as well. Florida State now holding on to the 6-point lead.
I feel like Latson could be a dual athlete. Like she could be track and field star here and then also a hooper.
Quite a bit of athleticism. 8 to shoot.
That's her shot. Day Wilson, she loves that little sidestep dribble, getting the 1-2 and collecting. That is a shot that she'll knock down consistently from 3.
Shot clock off now as Bijetti will take her time. Looking for the last shot here in quarter number 1. As Florida State holds the 6-point lead. Latson calling for the screen, gets caught up. Finds White, no. Last chance here for Day Wilson. Couldn't get it off in time, waved off as the buzzer sounds for quarter number 1. The Seminoles offense
play strong, they stayed consistent all the way through, and if you don't know the name De'Asia Fair, you need to Google, and then you need to watch today's game. A true bucket.
Oh, so fun to watch, and the guard play in this league has just been outstanding. Here's an opportunity in transition for Patrick, too strong. Latson now pushing. The no-look pass. Tucker tries to get it inside, traveled.
Bit too congested there offensively for FSU. I don't think they've had the spacing they normally have, and associate head coach Bill Ferreira, he's the one who designed their offense. It's pace and space. They play with pace. They like to get up and down the floor, but with that, you also need to have the spacing. You need deep corners. You need good action on the backside. I thought that possession looked a little stagnant for them, a little clustered.
7 turnovers now for the Seminoles, a team that averages, keep saying it, but just 11 per game. Just seems like there's a little bit of a disconnection with that offense there. Day Wilson offline. Touch out of play will go the other direction.
Seminoles coming out in a 2-3 zone, and I like their zone. They move well, they talk well, their wings are long, and so they're able to close out. And the only thing you've got to worry about with zone is just guarding the 3-point line, especially with Shayeann Day Wilson out there. You got to keep her at bay.
Latson bringing the ball up, not a name we've said a lot today, unusually, just 2 points so far here early in quarter number 2. Deflection, or it took a touch is the call according to the officials, so ball is going to stay with Florida State.
Almost Latson. Another near turnover for the Seminoles.
Latson, though, averaging nearly 21 points per game, top 5 in the ACC in scoring, top 20 in the nation. Coming off of her 12th 30-point performance of her career. That one won't go, though, for Latson.
Good defense there by Day Wilson.
Miami's missed their last 5 field goals. Kind of try to get a little bit more rhythm going for this Hurricanes offense. foul called on the drive by Hylton.
Hylton, one of those players that Katie Meyer mentioned to us, has been playing well as of late, has been aggressive, has been scoring. Again, just another reinforcement off of the bench for Coach Meyer.
Sophomore guard Lemyah Hylton transferring in from Arizona. Had a big performance off the bench in Wake Forest. 9 points, 1 board, 3 assists, a block, and a steal. So also getting it done defensively in 17 minutes. Prior to that, though, only scored 2 points while averaging 4 minutes in the 3 prior games. So on any given day, someone can go off. Now coming up on the Intuit TurboTax halftime report, going to take a look around the ACC. We've got a live golf preview coming up for you and a look back at some of the best moments from the first half of this game, along with the stats of exactly what goes down, but still plenty of second quarter action to come, as it's going to be another turnover for Florida State. What do they need to do differently to try to connect a little bit better?
They got to find some daylight out of the Hurricane, because right now I think it's just the Miami defense. I think they've been pressuring them, they've made them feel uncomfortable, and it seems like Florida State just hasn't been on the same page. I mean, these are simple turnovers, right? Simple mistakes that we're seeing. It's not anything intricate, not anything Miami is doing differently.
Into the paint here is Hylton, gets it to go.
Beautiful pull-up jump shot right on the logo, right before Timpson could possibly get the block. She leads the ACC, so great for Hylton to pull up.
There's another pull-up, that one rattles out. Now, got to keep in mind, this Miami team, one of the stingiest defense in the ACC, allowing just 58 rather, not 80 points per game for opponents, which is right now second fewest in the ACC, but they've been able to disrupt quite a few teams here in conference play. 3 rattles out.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Florida State, one of the best scoring offenses in the ACC, averaging over 80 points a game. And they want it to be that high. I mean, the score being below 70 does not favor the Seminoles. They want a high-scoring affair.
Here's almost a first turnover by the Seminole defense. 9 to shoot. Williams. 3 ball too strong. Board by Tucker. Pushing here is Tucker. Finds the pass, no. Second chance for Timpson will go.
Really good push by Tucker, and then Timpson just making herself available on the block, sticking with it as well on the offense rebound and putback.
Timpson leading the Seminoles team in scoring so far, 8 points, very efficient, 3 of 4 from the floor, 1 board. She's a player who Coach Wyckoff mentioned needs to bring in a scorer's mentality, and there she gets it done on the other end. Jump ball the call, but she had those hands up, right? That's how it's supposed to be done.
Hands up, I call it hands to the lights, and this is solid defense right here. Look at the discipline, just kept her hands up. She leads the ACC in blocks. Really didn't have to do much on that one, but she's got tremendous athleticism, and she deters you in the paint. I mean, the reason why FSU can pressure a little bit and their guards can really get after it is because you've got a shot blocker inside to bail you out.
Put in perspective, Timpson averaging more than 2.5 blocks per game, leading the ACC, top 15 in the nation, also top 15 in the nation in field goal percentage. Coming into this game, shooting right about 85, I keep saying 85, 58.5% from the floor. And that's why I pointed out that Coach Wyckoff mentioned she wants her to come in and bring an aggressive mentality on the offensive end as well. Had a couple of quiet games, just 4 points against Georgia Tech and Duke, but she's a player averaging more than 13 per game. She knows she can get it done inside as well.
Just the intentionality for this offense, an offense that likes to run, that likes to shoot shots from the outside to make sure that they're getting her a touch inside.
Timpson, a all-ACC second-team selection and the ACC's most improved player as a sophomore, also an all-defensive team selection as there's an and-one opportunity. Jasmyne Roberts getting it done.
Awesome play call here from Coach Meyer. Got the 4 across and then opposite action, just caught the weak side sleeping, and Roberts finishes. I love when teams score efficiently on baseline out of bounds. I think it's an easy area of the game where if you execute, you communicate, you set the right screens, you can steal 8 to 10 points a game. And we know that makes all the difference in ACC conference play. 8 to 10 points, that's huge.
Absolutely. Roberts now leading this Miami team. 7 points after making that free throw as a foul is called as Timpson went up with it.
Timpson really getting more aggressive inside and Florida State has turned the ball over a little bit. They haven't looked as confident and as in flow offensively. It's good to see them getting the ball inside and getting high percentage looks.
Timpson going to the line, just a 60% free throw shooter. Knocks it down. Tuesday and Inside the NFL, the matchup for the big game is set, and the guys take a look at the keys to victory for both the 49ers and the Chiefs. Inside the NFL Super Bowl edition, Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central on the CW. Who you pulling for in this one?
Man, I'm an Eagles fan. No, I'm an Eagles fan, so I'm not too happy about it right now. We're going to bounce back next year, though. Not worried. How about you?
Bijetti there goes inside, draws the foul, but I lived in the Bay Area for several years, so right. I guess the 49ers, I am not traditionally a 49ers fan, but I have a lot of friends who are going to cover the game. They're excited about it. So it's always cool to cover a Super Bowl victory celebration versus being on the losing end.
Yep, little by association there.
Yes, exactly. So I'll, I guess, jump on the bandwagon on that one. Bijetti going to the line here. And you look at Sarah Bijetti, the fifth-year 5'7" guard for this team. Prior transferred in from Arizona State, but gets it done on both ends. That's the thing that stands out about her play. She played a complete 40 minutes against a top 25 Virginia Tech team. She leads the team in minutes, averaging more than 30.5 per game, scoring nearly 12.5 points per game, but then also taking on often the toughest defensive assignments.
Yeah, it's just hard to take her off the floor if you're Coach Wyckoff. I mean, she's the emotional leader of the team. She's so mature. And like you mentioned, defensively, she's a staple as Hylton has come in the game and made a difference. Now knocking down a corner three.
Hylton pointed it out, coming off that big performance against Wake Forest. Coach likes what she sees. Bonner into the game, gets it out to the three from Gordon.
Now that looks like Seminole offense. Driving and kicking, getting downhill, getting the defense to suck in, and then finding a shooter on the outside.
And that's one of the things that is important to this Florida State defense, or offense rather, as you pointed out, a lack of movement. They've got to be able to get that penetration or paint touch. Kick back out here as Miami tries to create. Back down to Lattimore, gets the finish.
That is a really nice pass from Jalea Williams up top to Lattimore at the baseline. But I'll say for that 2-3 zone, that should not happen for the Seminoles. They've got to have hands up. They've got to be active. There's no way a pass from the top of the key to the baseline should make it twice in one possession.
Gordon here bringing it back out. Interesting, Florida State going with that zone based on the fact that this Miami team has some three-point shooters. Bijetti misses everything. Timpson, put back not there. Another chance from Turnage. That one will go.
Turnage getting in on the glass. She's been a little quiet here in the first half, but that's where you can steal some second chance opportunities for this team, is to stay on the glass. Florida State with their 4th offensive rebound.
That's where Turnage has the opportunity to produce because of her ability to battle on the glass that Coach Wyckoff loves so much, extending possessions. 7 to shoot. Pull up from Roberts, actually trying to find Lattimore. Whistle on the floor, Florida State leading by 3 here in quarter number 2. Can Miami respond?
Inez, let me ask you, you're using Head and Shoulders, right?
Only when I see flakes. Then I switch back to my regular shampoo.
You should use it every wash. Otherwise, the flakes will come back.
He's right, you know.
Is that Tiny Troy?
The ingredients in Head & Shoulders keep the microbes that cause flakes that big.
Microbes, really?
They're always on your scalp, little rascals. But good news, there's no itchiness, dryness, or flakes down here.
I love Tiny Troy and his tiny, gorgeous hair.
He's the best.
Make every wash count. Little help, please?
JP Morgan Wealth Management knows it's easy to get lost in investment research. Get help with JP Morgan Personal Advisors.
Hey, David, ready to get started?
Work with advisors who create a plan with you and help you find the right investments.
So great getting to know you. Let's take a look at your new investment plan.
Okay, great.
This should have you moving in the right direction.
Thanks, Jen.
Get ongoing advice and manage your investments in the Chase mobile app.
When you share a hotel room with your kid, you also share a bedtime with your kid. But if you get an Airbnb, you get to pick your own bed.
Everything we build is from the ground up. Every great idea, every crazy idea, every next idea, every truck, and everything in it. Everything you hear, everything you see, everything you feel when you drive it. We put everything we have into our trucks, so you get everything out of them. We're Ram. Trucks are what we do.
911, what's your emergency?
Sheriff's office is reopening an investigation.
This story was odd. Who returns without the love of his life and doesn't say a word?
The paranoia took off like a tsunami. People became more and more obsessed with the case.
This house should be burned!
That was when the chase began.
As we're running, I heard gunshots.
People are still trying to mentally process how all of this could have happened.
Crime Nation, True Crime docuseries premieres February 20th on the CW.
ACC basketball on the CW is brought to you by Walmart. We don't just have everything, we have your thing. Welcome back to the Florida State campus. The Seminoles with a 3-point lead over the Miami Hurricanes late in quarter number 2. Check out the CW's brand new hit series that critics are calling fresh and fiery and a damn good time. Watch Wild Cards this Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, or stream free anytime on the CW app. Back here inside the Tucker Center, it's been quite a bit of back and forth action, but it's Timpson who's been leading the charge for the Seminoles, already with 10 points, on pace to drop 20 in this game. What has she done to be so effective, Isis?
She's just been aggressive. I mean, 3 for 5 from the field. They've been intentional about getting the ball inside to her. And then also, she's got to the free throw line 4 times, 4-4 as well. So all good things for a good recipe. And then when you come out of a timeout and Latson knocks down a 3, you know things are going well. Good to see her getting in on the action as well. I thought she started off a little bit slow, had a couple of turnovers, but she's picked it up here in the second quarter.
That's also a good recipe. Tania Latson knocking down threes, getting that inside-out game going for Florida State.
If there's one area that needs improvement in Latson's game, and she's only a sophomore, it is her three-point shooting ability. Only shoots 22%.
Hylton once again putting her stamp on this game. She now is into double digits in scoring. She has 10 with that last 3.
Knocked down 2 triples already. She's just done a great job of picking her spots.
Latson puts it back out. 9 on the shot clock. Latson rises up short. It's a no board though. Gordon comes up with it. Calls her own number. Rebound brought in by Lattimore. Fight for the board though. Jump ball called.
Great job by Latson to stay on the offensive boards, but here on the other side, Hylton just finds some space in that corner, shoots the ball with confidence. Jalea Williams loves it. Tell you what, as a leader of a team and as a point guard, you love when players and your teammates off the bench come into the game and make an immediate impact.
Bajeti goes to the ground as she draws the foul on the drive. You pointed out baseline plays being so important. They'll get 2 shots from the charity strike.
And Brooke Wyckoff yesterday, just in practice, she kept telling Sarah Bajeti, just get downhill. I want you to get in here. I want you to get it high up off the glass so it doesn't get blocked, and go strong. And she's been rewarded with getting to the free throw line a couple of times.
Bajeti, a 3-level scorer, so can do a little bit of everything. Pointed out shooting right around 34% from beyond the arc. Takes quite a bit of threes, but it's also important to utilize that speed that she has. Knocks down the first free throw. Coming up on the Intuit TurboTax halftime report, we'll take a look around the ACC, check out what's going down in women's hoops action, a live golf preview, plus to look at the best action from the first half of this game, and we'll have analysis. Isis going to break down what's been working well, where these teams have been struggling through the first half of play. 4-point lead now for the Seminoles. Dwyer, 9 to shoot. Dwyer gets it inside, denied, goes to ground. Gordon in transition, yes, and one opportunity.
Wow. Defense to offense for the Seminoles. Dwyer gets too deep. White says, not in here. And then OMG, coast to coast with the contact, left hand. Tiny but mighty is Lemyah Gordon. That's tough.
This Florida State team with no shortage of guards who can get downhill, right as we were talking about Bajetti, the speed. You see Gordon with that elite change of pace. Something fun to watch. Williams, though, called for her second foul as Gordon knocks down the free throw. That'll be the 4th team foul for Miami. 6-point lead now for the Seminoles with just about 2.5 remaining in the first half. Hylton turns it over. Takeaway for Bajetti. Taking it in herself, no.
It's a tough break for Bajetti because she does such a good job defensively of anticipating that skip pass, but then couldn't finish. But Turnage here with another steal. I mean, the Seminoles really picking up the defense here.
A lot of turnovers for both these teams. Just before that last possession, they were at 9 and 8. Latson here going to try to slow things down, get this offense a little bit more in rhythm and connected, but it's going to be another turnover. Let's take a look at what's going on around the ACC, presented by T-Mobile. A full slate of women's hoops action to come today. A top 25 matchup between Virginia Tech and North Carolina. That's at noon Eastern. 21st ranked Syracuse taking on Boston College. Another one that will be going on midday. Lots to keep an eye on in the ACC, as any team can win on any given day. That's one thing that stands out about this conference, is that 3-ball won't go. Second chance is offline. 3 from Day Wilson, yes!
Miami's done such a good job staying on the offensive boards, and then those kick-out threes. Day Wilson always around that top of the key area, ready to help. Good pass, though, to Timpson inside. Man, she's been good this first half.
Timpson now leads all scorers with 12. Very efficient as well, 4 for 4 from the free throw line. She goes straight up on the defensive end, comes up with the ball. (9-9) now in terms of turnovers for these two teams. Jump ball called. It will go the other way due to the possession arrow.
Well, while we've got a wedgie, let's talk about Shayeann Day Wilson. That top of the key kick out 3, it'll break it back every time. And then Timpson, the 2-man game. Beautiful pass there from Latson. Nice and easy finish inside for the Seminoles.
Six-point lead with under a minute to play before the halftime break. Hurricanes looking to close the gap here. Go into the locker room, try to reset. Day Wilson offline.
Florida State got lucky on that one. Day Wilson is feeling it right now. They've got to make sure that they run her off the 3-point line, especially when a ball screen is set there.
Day Wilson with 6 points, 2 for 8 from the floor. Not super efficient, especially in the early going, but she has knocked down a pair of threes. Shot clock off, 10 to go here. Latson calls the play. Timpson in the mid-range. Wow! Game. Miami looking to get back in this one, trailing by 8, but not going to do it that way because Tania Latson knocks it down.
Really good play call out of the half just to get Latson to reject the screen, drive left, and then finish. They cleared out the whole side for her to operate and get to the basket.
Talked about Latson, was a little bit quiet there early in that first half. It started to get going, but there's a quick response.
Roberts, player that Coach Myers spoke highly of, says she plays multiple positions for them, even the 5 sometimes. Let's talk about the 3, though, as Turnage gets in it. Snoop knocking down a triple.
Turnage, the 6'1" guard, maybe guard forward, you could say, shoots just over 31.5% from beyond the arc. Doesn't take a ton of threes, but when she does, you can tell she's feeling it. Waving her fingers a little bit afterwards.
They call her Snoop. Because one day, while she was playing AAU basketball, her AAU basketball coach, she walked in with the Snoop Dogg braids. He was like, "What's up, Snoop?" And it's stuck ever since.
That's amazing. Stuck through college. Takeaway here, though, for Miami. Patrick, no. Ball ends up out of play on the sideline.
Bit unlucky for Patrick there in transition, but here's Snoop, that drive, kick out to the corner. FSU so good at knocking down corner threes.
Well, for this Miami team there, they were able to force the turnover, but not able to cash in on the other end. That's got to be something that they look to focus on, as they've been able to force Florida State to turn it over, but Timpson continues her hot play.
Yeah, she's so good out of that short corner, a little 12, 15-foot jump shot, really good action inside. She came across a cross screen, was able to get open on the baseline.
Timpson on pace to pass her season and career highs, both in the low 20s, 22 points her high on the season, 25 on her career. Turnover forced by the Florida State defense.
I believe that was Gordon getting just a hand in there to deflect that ball, and then Latson to size up the three. Not able to get it to go. I think that would have brought the house down here. I felt like the crowd is antsing up, ready for FSU to stretch this lead.
Latson just 1 for 4 from deep in this game. There's the penetration, back out. Williams' shot won't go.
So FSU has decided to stay the majority of this game in a zone, and they're just really packing the paint. And when Miami isn't able to get to the paint, when they can't drive off the bounce or get a post touch, their offense looks completely different. But here on the other side, just a little screen action there, ever so slight, but it got Timpson enough space off that reverse pivot to get her jump shot up.
Timpson just playing with so much confidence in this game. As you watch her take that shot, no hesitation. She knows to get to her spot and then just looks to be firing with just that next level aggression that Coach Wyckoff was looking for.
But she's getting high percentage looks, 6 for 8 from the floor, so she's not doing anything differently than her normal output. She's getting those high percentage looks, and like you said, just shoot the ball with confidence.
Here goes a chance for Miami off the miss. Kick out. Williams got it.
Piece of the paint, right? Shayeann Day-Wilson gets in the paint, stops, jump stop. Julia Williams ready to catch and shoot. When they get a piece of the paint, their offense then opens up and other players can look to connect.
Williams, junior guard, also Floridian, but here is Bajetti, draws the foul.
And Sarah Bajetti just so good off the bounce. She's so assertive as well, but on the other side for the Hurricanes, Day-Wilson gets inside. Williams, corner three, ready to knock it down with confidence. I love watching Julia Williams hoop. I mean, she's just a competitor. She's chatting a little bit on the court too, right? Little friendly trash talk. I mean, you love these just in-state rivalry games when you know a lot of these players, right? You grew up playing AAU basketball, so probably half the players on both teams she's familiar with, and she just plays with that energy, that excitement. She just looks like she loves playing the game.
Another thing about Williams that stands out, she was a 2022 Bradley Award winner because she had scoliosis surgery before her junior year of high school. At least that's when she was diagnosed, had a surgery that required 6 months of intensive rehab. Came back to play that season and put up incredible numbers. So also standing out is that spirit, but also the resilience that she has.
Love that.
Here she goes, driving, kicks it out. Extra pass. Adam Moore in some traffic. Miami offense waiting for the right look. 9 to shoot. Roberts for 3. Got it!
Roberts has been so good here today, so versatile. 12 points, that was her first triple, but off the pick and pop action up top, you had 2 on the ball. Wilson willingly gave it to her, and she knocked it down. I love the way Miami has shared the ball here in the last few minutes.
Roberts also an important piece to get going. Was so critical during the team's Elite 8 run. Had a career-high 26 points against Villanova in their Sweet 16 game. Hit the game-winning shot to send her team to that Elite 8.
Yeah, just here on the little pick and pop action, 2 players went with Day-Wilson. She made a nice pass, and Roberts knocked down that thing with confidence.
So really, the junior guard coming off of a breakout season. She is a player who knows how to deliver in those critical moments. That's something that Coach Meyer talked about, coming in with some new pieces with this team, a changeover in 3 starters, losing her 2 leading scorers from a season ago, is figuring out who the gamers are on this team, and there's a gamer. I think Shayeann Day Wilson is one.
Silky smooth is Day Wilson on the pull-up, and Miami's starting to figure out that zone a little bit. They've been screening those top 2 players of that zone for Florida State, getting them out of the way, and then finding success scoring in that middle third of the court.
6-point ball game now. The Hurricanes very much in this one here midway through quarter number 3. Miami 3 of 3 with their last couple tries down the floor. Gordon gets it inside. Rebound for the Canes. Now they push. Running is Williams. Gets caught up a little bit. Gets it back.
Good decision by the Hurricanes. I thought they didn't have anything there. Bring it back out. Run your offense.
8 to shoot. Roberts tries it again. No. O-board run down by Patrick. Put back and the contact.
Jada Patrick just not giving up on the offensive boards. 3 players around. It doesn't matter, though. She finishes in the contact. Miami climbing back, only down 4.
Everything we build is from the ground up. Every great idea, every crazy idea, every next idea. Everything you see, everything you feel when you drive it. We put everything we have into our trucks, so you get everything out of them. Ram, trucks are what we do.
Right now, get $4,500 cash allowance on the purchase of virtually all 2024 Ram 1500 trucks.
Shopping for trucks.
The unexpected can happen to any of us. That's why SelectQuote makes it easy to get the life insurance coverage you need to protect your family for less than $1 a day. Now get up to a $2 million term life policy with no medical exam and same-day coverage. Make sure your family is protected from the unexpected.
Visit SelectQuote.com now. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Captain, ever since you discovered zesty Hidden Valley Ranch, you never stay in character anymore.
You know we're not actually pirates, right?
Of course we be pirates. Look at me hook.
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Only serious about flavor.
Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors. Easy to apply for the whole family. Vicks VapoStick. And try Vicks Vapo Shower for steamy Vicks vapors.
I take caring for my kitty very seriously. So when I found a health monitoring kitty litter, I had to meet the creator.
Oh, hi, kitten.
Please, I told you to call me Martha. This litter seriously stops odors, and it changes colors.
Smart and pretty, you could say.
You're going to make me blush. I love that it's lightweight, low dust, and delivers right to my doorstep.
Try it today. Go to prettylitter.com.
This place is special. It's not just the things you learned, the friends you made, or the wins you saw.
Touchdown, FSU!
It's not even that you walk the same paths as renowned artists, CEOs, and Nobel laureates. But what makes FSU special is who you became while you were here.
Ball game. This Miami team starting to heat up in quarter number 3, but they still trail the Seminoles 45-49. Next Sunday in CW Women's Hoops, ranked teams collide as 16th ranked Louisville heads to Syracuse to take on the 21st ranked Orange. 16th ranked Louisville against 21st ranked Syracuse. Going to be a great one next Sunday at 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific, only on the CW. Look at the top 25. The ACC so deep. Talked about how any team can win on any given day, and this Florida State team was previously ranked for a good portion of the season, but just that string of 3 losses prior to their last game against Georgia Tech, finally getting a win on the 28th last Sunday. they had been struggling. And you mentioned you were even surprised to see this Florida State team drop a couple in a row.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough loss to Syracuse, who's been playing well. It was then an unexpected loss to Virginia, and then just, I mean, that's the tough part about the ACC, right? It's just as you go through, it's challenge after challenge after challenge. You got to be ready to play basketball, and that's kind of what Coach Wyckoff said. She just was like, maybe your team got a little bit lax. You know, they weren't necessarily having the intensity that she wanted them to have, and when you don't have that in a conference that's as deep as the ACC, teams will make you pay, and that's what happened.
They're gonna have to bring that intensity here as Miami is really heating up. Coming off a 13-1 run with Williams hitting that last triple. Now they have another chance here to take a lead.
I almost didn't give the shoe back to Latson because I really like pink sneakers, guys. I almost just wanted to ask for the other one and keep it for later. But unfortunately, she needs it.
T'Niya Latson playing without a shoe there for a minute. Not something you see in every ball game, but this Florida State team gonna have to really lock in here down the stretch of quarter number 3 if they want to maintain this lead. Miami done a good job of turning them over. They've been able to cash in on the other end. They've had a couple players heating up from beyond the arc. Williams really getting a couple of good looks as that foul is called. No one's called against Shayeann Day-Wilson. But this Florida State team now with a 3-16 scoring drought. Chance here on the baseline play. Bonner able to keep it. Maya Bonner, the Cal transfer, sophomore guard out of Fremont, California in the game, and providing some nice minutes off the bench, but hasn't scored much in the last 5 games, just 1 point. 4 to shoot here. Bonner offline. Williams the rebound.
Miami doing a good job of doubling Latson as she comes off of that screen. They're almost trapping her, forcing her to be a passer and not a scorer.
Patrick, too strong. Latson in transition, doesn't have numbers though. Latson on 3, almost loses the handle.
That's what I talked about in terms of keys to the game and passing up good to great shots, right? She could have maybe fumbled that and tried to go up 1 against 3, but instead you want to get a great shot. Fortunate turnover there for Tucker.
Day-Wilson. Oh, nice pass. Lattimore finishes the play. And University of Miami has taken the lead here on the Florida State campus. Wow.
Day-Wilson operating in traffic. Doesn't need to look though. That's a nice dime. Her second of the game. Lattimore making herself available. The Hurricanes are here.
When moderate to severe ulcerative colitis takes you off course, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When I wanted to see results fast, Rinvoq delivered rapid symptom relief and helped leave bathroom urgency behind. Check.
When UC tried to slow me down, I got lasting steroid-free remission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when UC caused damage, Rinvoq came through by visibly repairing my colon lining. Check. Rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And a chance to visibly repair the colon lining. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least 1 heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC in check and keep it there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Dad, we're gonna be late.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
Life doesn't stop for a cold.
Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey. Powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste. DayQuil Honey. The honeylicious daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head fever, power through your day medicine.
My name's Cody Archie.
And I'm Erica.
And we're first-generation ranchers from Central Texas.
And because of TikTok, we're able to show people from all over the world where their food and fiber come from.
We have Dorper sheep and we have beef cattle for the sole purpose of going into the food chain. We use TikTok as a tool to inform people of what we do and why we do it. There's just a plethora of knowledge and of information swapping going on there. TikTok is helping us protect this way of life for future generations.
ACC basketball on the CW is brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Welcome back to Tallahassee, Florida, where if you haven't taken shelter already, you might want to, because the hurricane is here and this Miami team has come storming back in quarter number 3, retaking the lead for the first time since the first quarter. Head coach Katie Meyer's squad in a 15-1 run in the last 4.5 and change.
Been really impressed with just their third quarter overall. 17 points here, only have allowed 8 for FSU, so their defense has been good, the intensity has been good, and then offensively they've had great shot selection. I like the decision here by Coach Wyckoff to get Timpson a touch, right? We talked about how dominant she was in the first half, 16 points. Since then she was a little bit quiet. Good call there to get her a touch out of that timeout.
Timpson ends a 4+ minute scoring drought for the Seminoles. Much needed bucket there as they retake the lead. Williams gets caught up. Roberts in some traffic. Foul called going the other way. Offensive foul called.
Roberts called for the push off on Gordon. I thought Gordon did a great job of just getting in front of that, accepting the contact. Good call by the referees.
Florida State now with a chance to extend their lead. Timpson rises up, got it again.
If they don't stop it the first time, Kylan, you go right back to it. That's what Coach Wyckoff did. Back-to-back touches for Timpson right around that high post area. She's so good off the one dribble pull-up when she has a chance to elevate. Good back-to-back offensive possessions for the Seminoles.
Timpson now has 28 of 11 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds. What a game and what a pass. Lattimore finishes it off inside.
And Lattimore has also done a good job working inside, relocating. She's always moving, always has her hands up ready for the ball, but I think back to what Coach Wyckoff told us about Timpson, KK Timpson before this game. She said she needs to have a scorer's mentality. We need her to put the ball in the basket. She had a couple of games where she wasn't scoring in double figures. That's another beautiful dime, though. And Lattimore finishes again.
Speaking of a scorer's mentality, Latasha Lattimore now with 12 points. That 3 won't fall.
Post players coming alive here late in the third quarter, seeing some back-to-back action.
Lattimore just 1 point shy of her season high, 13 she scored against Alabama State much earlier in the season.
Yeah, Coach Meyer told us that the bigs have been working to find their consistency for Miami, right? One day it's Spearman, one day it's Lattimore, one day it's been Oldacre, but today it's been Lattimore off the screen, just the roll, continued to roll to the basket, and then a beautiful pound dribble to get to the other side, and then Williams finds her on the run. Man, I love a post player that runs the floor consistently.
The Jetty called for her first foul on that last play. Now just about a 6-second differential, just under a 6-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Driving, scoring, and one, Jada Patrick.
Man, Jada Patrick just so athletic and explosive off the bounce. The rip through, only 2 dribbles. Beautiful finish. Miami loving her play today. She brings that oomph, you know, that just like, I gotta get a bucket. She brings that aggression.
Jada Patrick, the graduate student guard, transferred in from Columbia. Really interesting story that Coach Meyer told us about how she came to this program is that she scored a career-high 25 points on Miami last year when her former team played her current team, and that certainly caught Coach Meyer's eye. And she also mentioned that she's friends with Columbia's coach. Went for a run before the game and was kind of trying to feel it out in terms of what the situation was. But the Ivy League has a rule that you cannot, as a graduate student, continue to play. So she was looking to play somewhere else, and it just so happened that there's the last shot. Oh my goodness! Oh my, which is 25. Fourth quarter action now underway, though. This one coming down to the wire. 1 point ball game. Foul called going the other way. Hopping there is Day Wilson.
White called with the offensive, and that's really on Gordon as the guard. She's got to take her time, wait for her post player to get set, and then attack off the screen. She went a little early, and White picked up the offensive.
Tyler White in the game, transfer from Jones Junior College for the Seminoles. Now they need a stop. Here she is defending down low. Latson the rebound.
That's the look that Miami wants, right? Spearman got deep position, showed her numbers, not able to finish. And then Latson not able to finish either.
Another transition look here. Pushing is Dwyer. Acrobatic shot won't fall.
A bit out of control there for Dwyer. I like that she's aggressive in transition, but you gotta know when to either pull it out or to find a shot under control. Sarah Bajetti under control, another corner three for the Seminoles. Man, they are lighting it up from behind the arc. 3 of those just in this half.
2-point lead now for the Seminoles. Foul called and a little bit of extracurriculars, but an offensive foul as Day Wilson was trying to get through.
Well, here's Bajetti on the triple, the drive by Bonner, and then again, corner three. She didn't have a hand up, hand down, man down.
Sarah Bajetti now with 101 career three-pointers, has hit a couple in this game. Florida State leading by 2. And the crowd starting to get into it here at the Tucker Center. Chants breaking out. And a celebration of National Women and Girls in Sports as well going on here. The first 750 fans got special commemorative t-shirts, a lot of energy here. As this 4th quarter will decide this game. Travel called.
Spacing again, right? I mean, you put Bonner in a tough position when she catches that ball on the wrinkle, on the sideline. She's too much congestion. That's the danger in handoffs in an offense, right? Is if you don't do it quickly and you can get a player downhill quickly, it almost acts as a trap for the defense.
Florida State with 14 turnovers. They average just over 11, which leads the ACC. Foul called in traffic. It was Dwyer trying to split the defense.
Dwyer, one of the 3-point guards for Coach Katie Meyer. Yes, 3-point guards she has on this roster that she has to give time to because they all bring something different. Normally when Dwyer's in the game, the pace picks up. And then now when you've got Jalea Williams and Shayeann Day Wilson, there's more freedom in their offense. She trusts those players to play because they're so good.
2 to shoot. Day Wilson rises up, knocks down the mid-range.
So good. You don't necessarily need to call a play for her. You can just let her operate.
Bajetti tried it out. Now pushing once again. Day Wilson. Williams rises up offline. Timpson fighting for the rebound is fouled.
Here's Day Wilson off the ball screen, the probe dribble, so good at that probe dribble into a jump shot. Beautiful mid-range decision, and 10 points today. I feel her kind of heating up though. She hasn't necessarily been in rhythm the entire game, but one of the strengths of Miami is just that they're so deep in offensively. They have multiple players that can score the basketball, 4 in double figures today. And Hylton has 10, Roberts has 12, Day Wilson has 10, and then Lattimore off the bench also has 12.
Well, they're gonna need to use that depth. Jasmyne Roberts just called for her 4th foul. So foul trouble going to be something to keep an eye on. But besides her, there are no other players that have more than 2.
Roberts has to be smarter with committing that foul. She was 93 feet away from her basket on the defensive rebound. She's got to be a little bit smarter there, a little too overzealous.
Just announced here after a conversation amongst the officiating crew that the foul was switched, or it is kept with Roberts. It was initially given to Lazaria Spearman. Some boos here, though, as Miami gets the ball right back. Some frustration there from Coach Wyckoff.
And Coach Wyckoff wanted the foul there called on Gordon as she drove. She thought the contact led to the travel.
Tie ball game here in quarter number 4. Seminoles fans on their feet. Plenty of time for Hylton, and she cashes in.
Man, Hylton has been so good today. That's her 4th triple, and just off a simple ball screen action, had the fill here as Bajetti just misses one, but Timpson on the offensive boards. Good defense, though, from Spearman to not foul, to stay disciplined.
3-point lead here for Miami will hold. Looked like Timpson was going to get the putback chance.
Tell you what, this guard matchup between Gordon and Williams, and then Day Wilson and Bajetti, 2 really good guard matchups.
Williams, 3 to shoot. Oh, what a pass, and Hylton finishes the play.
Jaliyah Williams has made some incredible passes today. The no look to get the defense to shift. It's a great job of being a point guard and keeping her eyes up.
Hylton now with 15 points to lead this Miami team. How about that? Latson in traffic draws the foul.
Miami here has gotten a bit of a surge here. Day Wilson on the fill, though. It's Hylton knocking down the 3. And then on the other side, look at Williams. Threads the needle, finds Hylton underneath. Beautiful pass. Caught Latson sleeping on the baseline on the weak side.
There have been a couple of times, though, that this Miami team has been able to find that baseline pass through this Florida State defense. For the Seminoles, what defensively do they need to lock in on here in this 4th quarter to win this game?
Well, normally when teams are in zone, you have someone that is running baseline to baseline, and so it's communicating about that person, whether it's a post player that's going from short corner to short corner or a guard that's stepping out to the 3, that they have to communicate on the baseline. I'd also expect Florida State to start mixing up their defenses a little bit more here down the stretch.
Seminoles trailing by 3. Hylton. Foul called on the floor. Some of the Seminoles wanted a travel to be called. That foul called on Sarah Bajetti, going to be her 2nd.
Yeah, Bajetti gave a little extra contact to Lattimore as she was rolling. But Miami has done such a great job off their ball screen action of finding the roller. And then when they don't find the roller, they find a 3-point shooter that's coming on behind.
They've been hitting those. Oh, nice pass. Speaking of, Lattimore puts it up and in.
Man, you got to give a lot of credit right now to Jaliyah Williams. I mean, she is just single-handedly orchestrating this offense right now. One of the 3-point guards that Katie Meyer has, but down the stretch here, she's been so good.
Foul called on the other end. That one's going to be against Hylton.
This was Williams' 8th assist. And Lattimore, again, does a great job of continuing to roll to the basket and finishing on the other side. But got to be fun to play with a player like Williams, who is just always eyes up, such a willing passer, and skill, high level of skill in her passes as well.
Williams averaging more than 2.5 assists per game. As a sophomore, also averaged more than 2.5 assists per game last season. Led the team in overall assists with 93. Also gets it done defensively, as 31 steals this season. Latson now at the free throw line. Latson knocks down her 10th point of the game. If you thought growing up was hard, try doing it in the 80s. Catch an all-new episode of the CW original comedy, Son of Critch, Thursdays at a new time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, only on the CW. Stream free now on the CW app. Latson's free throws make this a 3-point ball game. She now has 11. Coming off a 30-point performance for her team in their last game. They did have a bye on Thursday, so a little bit of extra rest for this Florida State team, but a much-needed win last Sunday against Georgia Tech. Doesn't quite have the same production today. 9 to shoot. 5 on the shot clock. Step back. No. Latson the board. Gordon in transition.
That's a big shot for Miss OMG. She was calling for it in transition. Miami protecting the paint first, not getting out to the shooters, and she ties it up. Day Wilson, though.
First shot offline, Latson the board. Tie ball game here in quarter number 4. Latson takes it herself, gives Florida State the lead.
Coach Meyer needs a timeout, and I agree. Florida State with back-to-back buckets, going on a little 5-0 run here in the 4th. Gordon in transition, knockdown, nothing but net. And then on the other side, Latson getting downhill, you can forget about it. Seminoles up 2 here in the 4th.
Get help reaching your goals with JP Morgan Wealth Plan, the digital money coach in the Chase mobile app. Use it to set and track your goals, big and small, and see how changes you make today could help put them within reach. From your first big move to retiring poolside and the other goals along the way, Wealth Plan can help you get there. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
I'm Andrea, founder of a boutique handbag brand, Andy, and this is why I switched to Shopify. It's the challenges that we don't expect, like a site going down or the checkout wouldn't work. What's nice about Shopify is when I'm with my family, when I'm taking time off, knowing that I have a site up and running and our business is moving forward because we have a platform that we can rely on, that is gold to us. Start your free trial with Shopify today.
When Barbara switched to TurboTax,
I broke 4 generations of family tradition with 5 little words. Ma, I want to make perfume. Getting my business off the ground was a full-time job.
so I made Barbara's new site gig count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and a maximum refund. Make your moves. We'll make them count. Intuit TurboTax. 100% accuracy guaranteed.
This new Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear is so soft and so smooth.
New Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has wavy perforations that tear so much better for a smooth, more enjoyable go. Charmin, enjoy the go.
Dad, we're gonna be late.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
We're launching futures in business, in innovation, in health, in climate study, in wherever your passion takes you. We're leading the way, our way, and we couldn't be prouder. University of Miami, home of the future.
Fans getting their money's worth here at the Tucker Center. A 2-point ball game between Florida State and Miami. This one coming down to the wire. Let's take a look at what's going on around the ACC, presented by T-Mobile. A couple of games with noon tip-offs now at the halftime break. 26-20, Virginia Tech leading North Carolina, and then a 1-point ball game between 21st-ranked Syracuse and Boston College. Now back here on the Florida State campus, Isis, what are the keys that both these teams need to execute down the stretch of this fourth quarter?
Well, for the Hurricanes, they've done a tremendous job in terms of scoring off the bench, 31 bench points, but that's come from sharing the ball. 18 assists on 27 made field goals. And then I think defensively for them is just being tough on the boards. Florida State right now wants to rebound, and then they want to run. And then for the Seminoles, continuing to protect the paint. That's what you want. You want a contested jump shot in which you can rebound, and now you can get into your offense. And offensively, taking care of the basketball and getting downhill. Can they continue to get their guards downhill to get a piece of the paint to force the defense to collapse?
Travel called as Bonner trying to get into the paint. These teams have done a better job taking care of the basketball in the second half, at least so far, each in double digits in turnovers at the halftime break. Now it's 15-13, still above, now 16 if you add on that last one, still above what Florida State averages, but been a little bit more under control. Williams Shoots through the lane. Battle for the rebound. Call the jump ball.
And we talked about those 31 bench points from Miami. Lattimore, though, has been the main culprit. 14, 7 of 8. Just been so efficient, so aggressive, so active.
Well, off the bench, it's really been the Lattimore Hylton show because 14 and 15. Hylton also 5 of 6 from the floor, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Knocked down a pair of free throws, so those two really the 1-2 punch in terms of providing that spark off the bench.
Yeah, it's been hard for Coach Meyer to take Hylton off the court. I mean, I think just every time she gets the ball, she's making a good decision, whether it's scoring the basketball inside, whether it's knocking down a three, or making the right pass.
Miami gets it off the baseline. A handoff.
Good defense there from Gordon, because normally Shayeann Wilson gets a shot off from that play.
Roberts traveled.
It's a bit too much one-on-one, putting the ball on the floor. Again, Miami was great in the second half when they shared the ball, when they had movement from side to side. That one-on-one is a little too stagnant right now for the Hurricanes.
Florida State with a chance here to extend their lead. Latson had 17 in the fourth quarter against Georgia Tech. Goes down to the ground, travel called, no foul.
Both teams forcing the issue just a little bit here, especially off of the bounce.
Florida State in a little bit of a run, 9-2 during this last stretch, but a couple turnovers here have really plagued that momentum. Tough defense there on the far side. Williams, no. Fight for the rebound. Gordon pushing. Gordon. Extra pass, Latson rises up, no. Off the top of the backboard.
That's the shot that you want, though, right? Gordon pushing in transition, ball goes to the corner, you hit Latson on the wing for a three, and then you try to crash the offensive boards. Nothing wrong with that, but Florida State here continue to be solid defensively.
Latson had plenty of space to take that shot, and that's something Coach Wyckoff said. She's okay with shots early in the shot clock as long as they are good looks and clean looks. 9 to shoot. Whistle as a timeout is called. Head coach Katie Meyer wanting to have a word with her team. Coming up next, Live Golf Makayla concludes with a final round. Watch John Rahm and all the Live superstars battle it out to see who walks away with the first win of the 2024 season. Live Golf Makayla coming up next on the CW. Also coming up here on the CW is going to be a fantastic finish in this game between Miami and Florida State. It's a 2+ minute scoring drought for the Seminoles, and actually a little bit of a scoring drought for the Hurricanes as well. 3+ minutes for Miami. What did they need to do to try to regain the lead here in this final 2:17?
I felt that they were having success on a two-man game when they put Lattimore in a ball screen, but also when they have Roberts rising as Lattimore is rolling. So you got to have those two tangents inside. One is diving to the post, the other one is rising for a jump shot.
Last chance here, denied. Big stop by Timpson.
That's what she does. Leads the ACC and blocks for a reason. Great defensive possession for Timpson.
Under 2 to go, Florida State now. Oh, Latson gets through, but no, foul called.
FSU staying consistent defensively. Watch Timpson here just rise up and reject Roberts, and then on the other side, good things happen when Latson can get downhill. Ooh, she got called with a foul, Lattimore. I'm sorry, but that was a really good block. That was a really good block, Kylan.
Lattimore looked a little frustrated after the fact, and watching the replay, at least from that angle, it did look clean.
I'd be frustrated too, but I was never a shot blocker. I'm only 5'7". My parents not an inch of height at all. So I didn't block many of those. I don't have experience with that, but I would be upset if I was her.
Understandably, yeah. A little bit LeBron-esque coming from behind on that one.
she's been good today. I really enjoyed watching her play.
Latson there with the clutch free throws, makes both, 4-point game. Day Wilson in the mid-range, goes down 2 and hits the J.
Day Wilson, so good in the mid-range, just getting in that little pocket off the ball screen. Beautiful pull-up. You got to think if you're FSU at this point, you've got to find a way to cover her off of that ball screen. Show her some resistance.
Day Wilson with 12 points, 4 boards. Oh, but there's the response. Are you kidding me? Bajetti with ice in her veins.
Sarah Bajetti, the emotional leader for the Seminoles, the vet, showing us how it gets done. But first, let's watch Wilson off the pull-up. That is money. And then Bajetti off the drive by Bonner, corner 3. She's a specialist over there. Did you forget? You gotta guard her.
It's been a litany of players scoring for this Florida State team. Bajetti getting involved, but they've been led by Makayla Timpson. Let's take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. You gotta love what Makayla Timpson has been bringing to this game, Ice.
So efficient today, 8 for 12 from the field, and has just found ways to score the basketball, a multitude of ways. Really impressed with just her confidence here in this game and her having that scoring mentality. That's what you want out of your best players in February. You want to know that they can score the basketball when they want to. Timpson has dropped 20 here today.
Florida State on a 12-2 run here late in quarter number 4. Now can they put together enough stops to finish this game out?
Good decision by the Seminoles to double Day Wilson when she had that ball on the ball screen. You want to get it out of her hands.
Day Wilson from deep, goes down, misses.
We talked about how good Sarah Bajetti is as a defender, but that play might be it right there, forcing Wilson to a tough step-back 3 and an air ball. That's all Bajetti.
Latson gets inside, no, and there's the putback. Fired up is Makayla Timpson, possibly with the dagger.
I thought Timpson was about to dunk this, guys. I mean, I cannot wait to see this replay. She was literally next to the rim. Florida State, this is the way that you close out games. Second chance points. Timpson, the beautiful tip in. No one boxed her out. That's tough. All smiles for Timpson, and she should be. A complete 22-point effort. Inside the paint here, watch the tip in. That is skill, athleticism, the awareness. But again, that's how you put away teams at the end of the game. Look at Coach Ferreira right there, fired up.
Timpson tying her season high with 22 points. She did it against Clemson, also has a double-double in this game. 22 points, 10 boards with that last little putback right there, just getting it done in a variety of ways. We've seen her step up defensively as well. Been the player of the game for this Florida State team. 37 to go. Crowd on its feet here.
Miami had to go quicker than that.
Just about a 6-second differential between the game clock and shot clock.
Yeah, they needed to go quicker than that. I thought they should have went for a quick 2. Something in the post that was maybe punch action or getting someone downhill. I think they wanted to get Day Wilson for a 3 off of the flare screen, but FSU just guarded that so well.
Coach Katie Meyer calling a timeout to try to regroup and figure out what this Miami team can do to get some points on the board really fast. But something you pointed out earlier in this game, Isis, was the fact that Florida State had to be able to defend well enough. You can't just outscore every opponent. You have to be able to put together defensive stops. What have they done in this fourth quarter? What do they need to do here in this final 23?
And I just think they showed their maturity is the word that comes to mind. The way that Sarah Bajetti has played defense down the stretch, knocked down clutch shots, the way that KK Timpson has made tough defensive plays. She had the block a couple of minutes ago, then she's finished inside. Maturity is the word that comes to mind, because when you're close game, 2 minutes left. You just need a couple of plays to make the difference, and they've done it on both sides of the basketball with their veteran players.
Another thing that comes to mind for Florida State, early on in the season, they had a number of tough tests in the non-conference slate. They had a very difficult non-conference schedule. They played a top 10 ranked Stanford team, UCLA, Tennessee early on in the season. They were top 15 at the time, and that's something that Coach Wyckoff said she knew would pay dividends down the stretch in times like these, February, tight game situations, and then the postseason.
She said her team is not afraid of big moments. Sometimes they're even better in big moments, and I would say they've been better today. Really impressed with how they pulled this out down the stretch.
7-second differential. Miami looking for a last chance. Roberts offline. Gordon the rebound. 10 to go. Latson gets it down the floor. Crowd on their feet, final seconds tick down, and there is the buzzer. The Florida State Seminoles victorious on their home floor, taking down their in-state rivals Miami 75.